All right. Hey guys, we are going to get started on a weaving project next. So we've got to get your loom ready to weave. So these are the supplies you'll need. You'll first have a cardboard loom and yarn. So you need about 5 arms lengths of yarn. So I kind of I hold it in one hand and I stretch it all the way across to my other hand, and that's 1 arm's length. So I cut and measured about 5. I'm not sure if that's the perfect amount or not, but we'll check it out right now. You'll also need a piece of tape to tape just the tail end of your yarn down. You're going to be kind of pulling on that yarn a bit, so make sure you really kind of rub that tape down so it kind of help hold that in place there. All right, and I'll move the tape out of the way. I'm ready to start. I'll start by kind of stretching that yarn across, and you want it to be fairly tight. Okay, so you want it to have a good amount of tension, and then to keep it tight, I always like to hold it with my thumb right here as I go around. I always call these teeth, so around that tooth. And so I'm just going to go around and wrap it behind and then out to the front. All right, I'm going to head across to the other side, hold it with my thumb so it's nice and tight, doesn't lose any tension. Come around to the other side. And yeah, you just want to keep this nice and tight as you do this. If you pull too tight, the yarn will kind of start to pop up off of the loom here. So there's a sweet spot. Not too tight, not too loose. You'll be able to see it and feel it, I think, once you get started. And you'll just do this all the way across. So notice I'm just going behind that tooth every time. And then across and behind the tooth. Hold that tight for some tension. I do see sometimes people get a little confused and they just get going on a roll and they just wrap this all the way around the back rather than going around. So you can see that I'm getting these strings on the back. We actually don't want any strings on the back. We're just having our warp strings across the front here. So if you do that, just got to kind of go back in time and undo it. All right. And your warp strings, it doesn't matter what color your warp strings are. You really won't see those in the end when you do your final weaving. There's some techniques where you will see them a little bit, but it's not going to take away from your overall beautiful weaving design that you'll end up with. All right, looks good. Here to the end, and then I'm going to flip over to the back and come back to my tape. I'm holding it tight with my fingers so that doesn't lose any tension. And maybe you'll need a neighbor to help you out with that. Get that nice and taped down there, push it on there strong. And it looks like, yeah, I just got this extra here, so it's not too much. So it seems like 5 arms length is an appropriate amount. It's better to have too much than too little. Just give that a little snip, don't need that. And then you'll write your name. I know you can't really see my tape here, but write it on the tape and not on the cardboard because we do like to reuse these. All right, so your name and 5, whatever class you're in. And you are ready to weave.